This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fighters. Always good to see David Adeleye here in Surrey at the New Era gym. Yeah, how's things? How are you, mate?
It's been good, man. I can't complain. How you been?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. All the better for seeing yourself. Yeah, I guess training today, hard session ahead of potentially a big fight in the pipeline coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, whoever they bring forward and whatnot, and whatever date they say, then yeah, so be it. But yeah, man, I'm just staying in the gym and I'm getting in shape.
Absolutely, for yourself. And I guess there's been a couple of dates that's been touted for your return, and it's obviously not happened. Yeah, I guess sort of just before, it's near the end of the year now, just before it does close off, how would you look at 2024 as a whole for yourself?
Good question. I've just been in the background, doing what matters. I haven't boxed this year. I have one fight this year, but I'm still young, so it doesn't really matter. It's just about learning the craft and moving forward in the right direction. I'd rather take, 2-3 steps in the right direction than 10 steps in a direction that's not meant for me.
I was going to say, is it important that, I know you haven't sort of had that activity you would have liked in the ring, but it's important that you've almost sort of, you could say mentally, physically, but you've learned a lot this year, although you haven't been in the ring. Yeah,
I learned a lot this year. Like I said, it's just taking steps in the right direction, doing what matters as well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And like I say, obviously new surroundings here at a new gym for yourself. I guess what's that been like for yourself at this point to change and I guess start training in Surrey?
Good. The first time I've been in an environment like this since I've been pro. Last time I was in an environment like this, I was amateur. In the amateur club, and all of your friends are kind of just boxing together. So yeah, it was a good environment for me, and yeah, moving in the right direction.
Do you feel like you benefit from having that? Like when I come down to this gym, there's always top talent here week in, week out, always working hard. Like, do you feel like you have that benefit of always having not just the coach around you, but sort of fighters as well who keep you in check in a sense? Yeah,
definitely. You kind of know how hard to push yourself, and you see other fighters pushing as well. Everyone's got different dates that they're working towards, so you start to see where people are in their time in the camp and whatnot. So yeah, it's about just staying in the right mindset and moving in the right direction. Like I said to you, you can all feed off each other and gauge things from each other. Whether the person's an amateur at the beginning of their career, end of their career, there's always something to learn from. Always people to talk to, and always people seeing different things.
Definitely, and just talking about yourself there, about sort of the growth that you've been on, it must be eager as well to be back in there as a heavyweight yourself. You see how the domestic landscape is moving. It must be exciting to sort of want to get back in there and being in amongst it again.
Definitely, man. But at the same time, you don't want to rush and go in the wrong direction. But it's definitely enticing. You look at the other fighters that are kind of doing their thing and whatnot, and people that are kind of chipping away that you'd beat as well. So obviously in that sort of sense, you're like, damn, man, I wish I was fighting that person or so and so. But like I said, man, it's about staying grounded and tunnel vision.
100%, and just mentioning that there, it's only right I do ask you about this weekend. Obviously, Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke having their rematch. Yeah, you've obviously shared the ring with Fabio. How do you look at it? And you've had your previous piece with Frazer, but how do you look at this weekend's fight? I guess
good fight. There's pros and cons to both of them. You look at Frazer Clarke and you think his age, how much fights he's had already, his style hasn't changed. You kind of just look at him and think, can he get any better? Then you look at, obviously, Fabio Wardley and think he's also got all that sort of damage he's already taken and whatnot. His nose was busted in his last fight, and then you think, how much can he improve from his last fight and what's he actually going to do stylistically? But looking at it from a fan's standpoint, I think they're obviously in for a treat. Both fighters believe in themselves. But who's going to win it? I couldn't tell you.
When you see both fighters, and when they do go for a fight like they did in the first fight, do you think sort of when it is so tough, they leave a piece of themselves, like they may never be, like sort of even Fabio or even Frazer, they may never be the same?
Definitely. And it might not affect them now, it might just affect them in a few years' time. When they're fighting somebody else in maybe a couple of years. But yeah, more than likely, it's a tough game, isn't it? You're not taking blows for God knows how many rounds, putting your life on the line. So yeah, it definitely takes a bit out of you, but like I said to you, obviously both fighters still believe in themselves, both fighters still think they can do certain things to each other. They both seem to be alright. Also, I ain't really kept up with the hype going into the fight. But yeah, so there's not so much I can tell you about what they've been saying or how they've been behaving, what they've looked like. I haven't kept up with it, but obviously I do know that both fighters are going to be backing themselves.
Do you think it's a fight Frazer needs to win? Like, he needs to beat Fabio Wardley because he got touted as this, like, obviously Olympic bronze medalist. He had all this amateur pedigree. You can't afford to lose to someone like that.
I suppose, but he's really underperformed in his career already. If you actually think about it, I mean, you look at him as a heavyweight Olympian and all these other things, he should be in a certain position now already. But so he's really underperformed. But yeah, I mean, you can't ask someone like me. I don't care for none of their careers and whatnot. So it's like, genuinely don't give a toss.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Another fight I actually did want to ask you about, and I guess another sort of a big topic that's been spoken about, especially in the last couple of weeks, was Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, you know, a thunderous performance from Daniel Dubois, almost running through AJ. Yeah, I guess sort of it's been a couple of weeks now to sit on it. Like, what do you make of that fight, and I guess both of their futures?
Obviously, Daniel's got a big future. What is he? Same age as me, 27. Yeah. The guy's gonna go move on and start defending his titles or whatnot. AJ's made his money, man, and I think a lot of people just diss him, but there's not one person that AJ would probably want to swap positions with that's dissing him. And people dissing would love to be in AJ's position as well. So I saw something the other day. I think Sonny Edwards was basically saying it, like, when all you realise is we're a distraction to the real life problems going on ahead, and you start to realise, man, things ain't that deep. So obviously, in AJ's perspective, he's doing it for his own sort of beliefs and whatnot. I think they talk about having a rematch. Yeah. It'll be good. Fans are still going to tune in to watch it. They're still going to sell out stadiums. I think AJ should just, if he is going to take the rematch, take that fight, take one more fight against the Fury rather than sail off into the sunset. Yeah. In Dubois' position, obviously, he's going to have to fight AJ again, and then he can move on. And then there's so many big fights for him domestically and internationally for him.
Absolutely. I actually did want to ask you about something there. You mentioned about Sonny Edwards, what Sonny Edwards said, and he also said a thing about, he sort of says that there's a lot of ignorance in boxing. I think you do see it with AJ, that everyone's sort of got an opinion on AJ and what he should do. Like, as a boxer yourself, as a fighter yourself, do you ever find that frustrating, that, like, you're getting critics from guys who they can never step a day in your shoes?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Do you know what it is? I had it early in my career. Yeah. So at first it was a bit like, what? I know everyone that's kind of saying something about me online wouldn't say it to my face, or I'd rather let my hands go, I'll do them in. But it's like, after a while you get maturity, you know what I mean? And experience brings wisdom. So after a while you start to realise that it doesn't actually matter what these lot have to say. But obviously in a position where we live in a world where everyone's got access to an opinion. You know, a few years ago, half the people sitting at home would never ever get through to these people that they're watching. But now, all someone's got to do is tweet, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, and their opinions out there. So I feel like you got to just move with the times. People are going to have opinions on you regardless, but you know, there's another saying that you can't expect everyone to like you if you don't like everybody yourself. So it's just what it is, isn't it? Like, live your life in your sort of, the way you want to do it. You know, you're in your position, they're in their position. It's all right.
Definitely, that seems a good way to end. David, as always, good to see you, mate, and I appreciate you taking time to speak to me. And yeah, all the best, man. Top man. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers, man.